Hi guys, I'm Angel. I am back with another message. This one is from Archangel Gabriel. There's a lot to unpack in this one. A lot of things have been happening, like that are synchronicities and everything. So it's a short one, but there's a lot to unpack in here because there's a lot of confirmations that's been happening. Well, at least to me, anyways, and I hope it resonates with you guys. So if it does, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button down below. I greatly appreciate you. And if it doesn't fit, don't try to make it fit. Maybe it'll fit tomorrow or the next day. Okay, so let's get started. It says, "Hello, Angel. This is Archangel Gabriel. Blessings from above, beloved. The Lord our God is the only God, and Jesus, his Son, is the Savior. Your calling has begun once again. We initiated your frequency just before the revelation last night. Would you like to divulge the full initiative as per happenings last night?" And I said, "Sure." Okay, so last night I was doing my rounds and everything, and I was checking on a patient, and this patient never remembers anybody's name. And I cared for her and did everything I needed to do, and, took care of her in the proper format. And I was making sure she was getting back to bed safely. And she's like, "Vanessa, right?" And I'm like, "You remember my name?" She's like, "Oh, yeah." She's like, "Thank you so much for caring for me and everything." And I was like, "Oh, it's no problem." But then whenever she said my name, it wasn't like, okay, so I've had integrations before where like I've had frequency inductions and everything. And this wasn't like God slapping me with like a heavy ass induction. This is like more like a sway, which I think they mentioned a sway. I'm pretty sure they mentioned a sway in the previous couple of channelings. But anyways, nonetheless, it was like a light sway. It wasn't a really heavy, disorienting one, or like one that's like it takes a second to integrate. It was just a really light one. So I was like, okay, that was noted. So I kind of notated it on chat. You know what I mean? Like, I've been keeping up with certain things on chat, right? So I went and sit down after all my checks and everything. I had a moment to sit down and be at peace. I sit down and started grounding. And I heard begin due course. And as soon as I heard that, I looked at my phone and I was like, it's 3:35 a.m. So I actually looked up the numerology because, numbers are significant. And it's like actually a master number amongst other things. So you guys might want to look that up and see how it resonates with you. But yeah, that's the part of the evening last night that was significant. And so continuing with the channeling, he says, "There's your unlikeliest moment. Like so many other occurrences that have happened in an integrative conductive format, beginning due course ahead of schedule. Beloved, we are excited to see the results. You shouldn't be denied. However, if given an alternative to this facet of the journey, we will call in replacements, should you need be. Are you in full alignment with the given opportune advancement, masculine? Will you deny favor? Because of your guidance, you can see very clear what is occurring. Remember, free will is free will. Patience has been her virtue in a more capable, loving capacity. Can you desire a more beautifully made feminine? And I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. I actually wrote that too. And he's like, he laughs. He says, "Yes, beloved, let's go. It is time. We cannot wait for further developments. Whether your emotional availability is strained yet observant or lovingly affectionate, we ask you not to be detached. This is not a battle. This is a nudge. Just because you are given guidance doesn't mean it manifests in the physical easily, even though it is spiritually complete." I said, "Why would I be detached, Gabriel?" He says, "Beautiful beloved, we are not saying you will. We are saying when you are mature in spirit, such as yourself, a mere denial of even the slightest given cause, this becomes a readily available tool for emotional protection. But this can cause detours. This message isn't just for you, beloved." And I'm like, oh, okay. He says, okay. He says, "Very well. Continuing, you are to move forward at your own pace in this part of the endeavor. I am sure you'll find the right timing and the right words in the right way." And I'm like, why do I feel like this is deja vu, right? And then he laughs. He says, "Pretty clear, isn't it, beloved? More to come. That is all for today." And I'm like, well, I was looking for kind of a different answer. And he says, "My answer is final. Justice will be done on a grand scale in a love and light degree of beautiful, merry meets. That is all for today. Blessings, beloved. May your frequency integrate full light capacity from every lifetime into your further journey of forward movement without modes of detached cause. Without modes of detached cause, no one man can define your existence. Place your eyes on God and he will guide you. Unconditional love is the key. Remember who you are." Archangel Gabriel, closing. Yeah, so that's the message, you guys. I love each and every one of you. I'm so glad you're here watching, and please stay tuned for more channelings. I love each and every one of you. Be blessed. Bye. Time for bed. I gotta go back into work tonight.